Monsters of Chernobyl, exploring the secrets of the exclusion zone. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into a topic that's both creepy and fascinating, the monsters of Chernobyl. Now I know what you might be thinking. Chernobyl is known for its nuclear disaster, but what if I told you that there are stories of strange creatures lurking in the shadows of the exclusion zone? In this video, we'll explore the myths, the facts, and what really goes on in this haunting place. So grab a snack and let's get into it. The Chernobyl nuclear disaster. All right, let's set the stage. On April 26, 1986, the Chernobyl nuclear power plant near Pripyat in Ukraine experienced a catastrophic explosion. This wasn't just any explosion, it released massive amounts of radioactive particles into the atmosphere, impacting not only the nearby towns, but also the entire world. Thousands were evacuated, and the once thriving city of Pripyat became a ghost town overnight. The immediate aftermath was devastating, with many people suffering due to radiation exposure. But what about the long-term effects? The exclusion zone, a brief overview. Fast forward to today. The Chernobyl exclusion zone, covering about 1,000 square miles, is like a time capsule, frozen in the moment of disaster. The zone remains off limits for the most part, primarily due to the lingering radiation. However, nature has a funny way of bouncing back. In the absence of human presence, the wildlife started to reclaim the land, making Chernobyl a unique case study for scientists and nature enthusiasts alike. Speaking of wildlife, one of the most interesting outcomes of the disaster is how various animal species have thrived in this eerie environment. You wouldn't believe the variety of animals that have found a home here. We've got wolves, deer, and even the occasional brown bear roaming around. And despite the radiation, these creatures have shown incredible resilience. But here's where it gets a bit creepy. There have been reports of mutations. Some researchers have documented changes in local fauna, like growth abnormalities in rodents or strange behavior in birds. You might ask, is this just folklore, or can it be backed by science? Well, there's a bit of both. Some mutations are real, but not all creatures have transformed into the monsters of our nightmares. What's fascinating is the adaptation process. Some animals are learning to cope with their new environment, rather than turning into mutant beasts. It's more about survival than anything else. Now let's move on to the fun part. The myths and urban legends. Stories of Chernobyl being home to mysterious monsters are everywhere, especially in movies and documentaries. There's a legend about the Chernobyl dogs who are said to roam the ruins, eerie and ghost-like. Some tales even mention giant mutated animals that are like something straight out of a horror movie. But let's be real here. A lot of these stories are sensationalized versions of what actually happens. The truth is, while there are fascinating reports of wildlife adapting to the exclusion zone, the stories we hear often come with a heavy dose of exaggeration. These myths largely stem from the fears surrounding nuclear radiation and the unknown. But they're definitely fun to explore and think about. So, what do the scientists say? Studies are ongoing, and many of them aim to understand the long-term effects of radiation on the ecosystem. Scientists have found that while some mutations exist, they are not as dramatic or horrific as the legends suggest. Most animals have adapted well to the changes, developing new behaviors to survive. One key takeaway from these studies is the resilience of nature. Despite the disaster's impact, life has fought back, adapting and thriving in a once bustling human environment. This offers us hope and reminds us of nature's incredible ability to recover. So what have we learned today? The story of Chernobyl isn't just about a catastrophic disaster, but also about resilience, survival, and a world rapidly reclaiming its space. As myth and reality intertwine, we must remember to appreciate the intricate balance of nature. Chernobyl stands as a monument to what can happen when humanity pushes the boundaries, both the amazing and the terrifying. Thanks for hanging out with me today. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the monsters of Chernobyl, make sure to hit that subscribe button for more content like this. And hey, I'd love to hear your thoughts. What's the craziest myth you've heard about Chernobyl? Let me know in the comments. Until next time, take care and keep exploring the mysteries around you.